It's possible that the title of the video sounds so clickbaity, but what if it's true? It's been 6 years since I submitted my resignation. This was thanks to one trading tactic that started making me money for the first time. I've learned a lot since then. I realized that the strategy doesn't work by chance. It almost seems to predict price movement. Now, I'm going to introduce you to it. I've long understood that trading with the trend is much easier than trying to catch trade against the trend. In other words, if you initially try to join and find good entry points to participate in the trend, your chances of success are much higher than if you were looking for reversal movement. This chart clearly demonstrates both examples. We have an upward trend, and to identify it accurately, we need the alligator indicator, which you can add from this panel on the pocket option platform. Right now, we obviously have an upward movement, and imagine if all this time you had levels somewhere around here and you were trying to trade down from those levels. Notice how many corrections there are on the chart. So here we have one correction upward, two corrections upward, and here's another slight correction. And look at how significant the overall growth is. Capturing this movement is much easier than trying to predict the small one. In addition, earning from this upward wave is much simpler than predicting one correction. Unfortunately, not everyone understands this, but your successful trade consists of exactly two things. The first is the strength of the global movement that you will join when trading with the trend. The second is a successful entry point. If you combine these two incredibly important aspects, then you likely won't even need professional trading knowledge to start making money today. Since we are trading options, it's really much easier to join overall movement at the right moment than to guess when that moment will stop or reverse. Therefore, today we will be using the alligator indicator. For your convenience and to reduce confusion, I think I will move the middle line. We only need the very first line and the very last one, which I made bolder and can generally be colored red. The most important thing is to trade when both lines are aligned in the same direction. So we won't be looking for any reversal movements or crossings like in this situation. We will only trade very simple and very reliable moments that will occur throughout the entire upward or downward movement. Let's move on to practice. Friends, look, right now we have the first opportunity to make a trade in the downward trend. Why is this opportunity the first? Because it's not just like that. Our chart is currently touching this green line. We will partially evaluate the correction and the correct entry point specifically based on these two lines. That is, the red line is our global line, which is lower, while the green line is faster. Always pay attention to the history. Unfortunately, on this chart, we haven't had any interaction with the green line yet. This is the first interaction, and as you can see, the chart continues to move downward because this upward movement was our chance to enter this trade profitably. You could also continue trading in the downward trend, but you could have opened a trade in this point. Accordingly, you would need to wait for the price to drop in 1 minute, starting from this value. However, since I made a trade much higher, specifically on the correction to this downward movement, the chances that this trade will close in profit are much greater. It brought us a difference of 45 points, which is a very confident and great trade. By the way, I recently held an exclusive session on my channel. You can compare the results. All these signals could have been copied by you absolutely for free. So if you follow the subscription link, you can trade with me. But for now, we are switching to another asset since the situation here has already played out. Right now, I'm observing the next currency pair, and here we have a very similar picture, but at least we have history. Again, let's look at how the chart interacted with the green line earlier. We already had a touch here, and there were many touches here as well. Ultimately, although the chart slightly went beyond the green line, sooner or later it fell back down. Therefore, it's possible that the market may rise a bit more now. and we will open another trade at this point for a downward movement, continuing the global downward trend. But we might also be lucky and bounce off this green line in the last time and continue moving down. Again, I repeat, your most successful trade consists of two parts. The first is the overall trend. The second is a profitable entry point. So right now, I'm teaching you how to make trades with a profitable entry point. As a second plus, we earn another $230 and move on. Unfortunately, there are not many such confident situations, so trades need to be searched for. But as practice shows, the alligator indicator is very understandable and simple for many. I trade with trends using various complex and simple strategies, but this one is more likely to suit any of you since it is really simple and combines only working with the most fundamental things that have been tested by a huge number of traders over a long period of and many trades. Right now, we are doing exactly the same. We are looking for such a beautiful global trend, whether downward or upward. Next, we look at how the price behaves with the moving average lines. In this case, the green line and the red line. As you can see, we have already had touches of the green line from which we continued our downward movement. So even though we recently broke beyond the green line, we eventually returned back. Therefore, I am now deciding to open a trade for a downward movement. And thanks to the profitable entry point, it closes in profit despite the price currently rising rather than falling. The whole point is that I choose a good moment and enter the position. Now, for example, we can wait for a touch of the red line and also try a trade for a downward movement. I noticed two positions right away, but unfortunately, even though it's a similar situation to the one where I just opened a trade, we missed a profitable entry point together. So look here, everything is absolutely the same. We've already touched the red line and the price is getting a strong reaction from it. However, entering at this point is unfortunately too late. So I have to take risks, and the moment end, even is scary, open a trade at the right time. Unfortunately, this position didn't succeed. We didn't get any serious reaction from this line, so I won't be trading here anymore. Here I am forced to open two trades to cover my previous loss and earn a bit on top of that. The situation is very simple, and the secret is to look for straightforward scenarios. Many of you try to trade on completely different, unclear charts, using various strategies and to predict different movements. But the problem is that there are charts like this one where it's extremely difficult to understand where the market will go, no matter what strategy you use. However, if you initially select a predictable, forecastable chart that you understand and apply the right strategy to it, everything suddenly starts working out for you. While I have my next trade open, which is probably the last one, I'd like to brag about the result of the latest signals from my open channel. Here you can also find interesting materials, including the use of neural networks in trading and so on. And in general, start improving and developing and trading every day. So click the link in the description, but we have 30 seconds left. Let's just wait and see how it all ends. Well, the reaction isn't strong, but thanks to good entry points, the last trade also closes in profit. We had only one loss, which we successfully covered afterward. So from this video, I made over $1,100. That's quite pleasing. Let's move on to my statistics for today. Here's the 21st. I already had 16 trades this morning, and my total profit for today is $1,700, which is very good. Thank you for watching the video. Be sure to apply your knowledge and practice. Bye bye.